Okay, hello and welcome to our first episode for Champion the Game Up. This is
Oh
episode
man.
one of I'm hoping a hell of a lot more to come because I'm hoping that people like it and we can get gajillions of your favorite creators and gamers onto our episodes. We start with Atomic Retro, and I want to really quickly say before we get going, Atomic, this was on my bucket list of episodes. And I'm glad you're first because you are now how far over 1K?
One 60, something like that.
Smashing it.
So
It felt like yesterday you did a video which was I'm near 1K. If you want to support me, come support me. And now you're absolutely smashing it. So it's class. Just real quick for those that are listening and hopefully watch if you see a clip, we will go through a few segments. I've got creator origins, I've got hot takes and sort of debates. I've got some questions of mine. I'm going to throw it in and see what he says and just lead off of that. And then hopefully by the end of it, he'll be happy enough to champion somebody else, which would be a great thing for this podcast. So, creator origin, segment one. Tell us about you. Tell us about your page, what your inspiration is.
okay, so oh god, this is first episode as well. Get it right.
No pressure, mate.
So basically, I've always been a geek anyway. So the gaming side is a sort of part of parcel of who I am. Um, so I done a video a little while back about my sad origin stories about what sort of pushed me to collect. I won't delve into that too much because that's the story on its own. But yeah, I've always collected toys. Like for the last sort of 10 years, I've collected toys. I've always been a gamer, so the game side thing just comes naturally. But yeah, my page is basically just me living my daily life, talking absolute nerdery with people who very much have the same interests. Um, it's hard. It's just for me, it's so natural just to be able to talk about this sort of stuff. But finding people in real life that are like me doesn't come naturally. So obviously, like people have interests like football and sports and stuff that I've worked on building sites before, and sometimes just trying to come out of conversation with people that have no interest in gaming or say anime or even like toy collecting. It's hard to find people that are in the same niche. So TikTok just seemed to be natural progression for me socially.
But have you found though? Because I sort of found since doing this, it's almost like you make your own karma. Because having done this a little while now, like the whole TikTok thing, there's actually more people at work I know now that are interested in anime and are interested in gaming. Have you found that as well or not?
Sort of, yeah. Like it's almost so when I first started work, um, straight from college and stuff, it wasn't really a big like being a geek was still quite brushed under the carpet. But obviously as time's gone on, people have become more accepting of it, and people are out there. So I do get what you're saying. Like there is more people out there that are willing to talk about this sort of stuff that maybe sort of 10 years ago would have been like, oh, I don't know what you're on about. It's a bit niche for me, mate. It's
But I think a lot of that, I would say, is them hiding it is a harsh phrase because obviously everyone hides it in some way. But I think now it's more mainstream, it's more openly talking about, spoken about. And I found it's doing this sort of thing that I could go into work, go into my football club, my basketball club, and there is someone there that will resonate with me. And I quite enjoy that. And have you found, having made your page now you've got your 1,000+ followers and still growing, people are reaching out to you now to do a similar thing, to get on board and do TikTok and stuff like that? Because I remember you messaging me saying how much you enjoy my page and stuff.
yeah,
And so for me to see you surpass where I am now, and it's amazing. I love it. So have people reached out to you and thought they might do the same thing now?
not really. I have people that I speak to regularly on here, um, that might ask for sort of tips or a bit of inspiration, but I haven't had anyone that sort of, oh, you've inspired me to do this. Like I've inspired other people's ideas, I guess, but I haven't had anyone that's got sort of gone, oh, I'm going to do TikTok. Have you got 5 minutes to talk about this and that? Um, but no, not really. Maybe it will come, but
So would you want it?
like I said, I wanted to help, because we all start somewhere. Um, and I still got a lot of learning to do about how TikTok works and algorithms and video ideas and how to keep everything fresh all the time. But it's difficult. Like, and
Yeah,
again,
for those listening, and sorry to keep biting in, but for
no,
those
no, 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 it's
listening,
fine.
The algorithm is. I love that word so much because I have no idea what it means. I know what an algorithm is, but I literally put a video out any time of day in any kind of format. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I put a video out of the Red Alert 2 soundtrack. They got like 100,000 views. I put a video out with pure dialogue and like 100 views. It's just a ridiculous thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't pretend to understand it either. I like you say, I enjoy making the video. If it pops, then it pops. You know, most of the time I use TikTok as a social outlet anyway. Because there's a lot of people on here that I have a lot of time for that I will speak to regularly. So the algorithm can do one. I just, as long as I'm enjoying it, that's the main thing.
I think that's a good message for everybody out there, really, because I see a lot of people that have put a lot of pressure on themselves. I'm not saying I know them personally, but you can almost see it in their content. It's like just post what you enjoy. People would enjoy it.
Yeah, because you get a lot of people that sort of ask what they'll ask their viewers what they want them to see, rather than just making their content for them. Which problem is, if you start making content for other people, then you burn out. And I find you stop. Because I streamed for a long time, and it wasn't until I started doing what I wanted to do I sort of enjoyed it a bit more. And I think that's sort of the important bit, is enjoying it. Otherwise, there's no point.
I think you can get lost as well. Like, I remember I was talking to, I want to say it was Holly Retro, but I could be completely wrong. Shout out Holly Retro. My thing with the internet is so big now. There's so much, there's an endless amount of stuff.
Yeah.
You almost need to hop on, post what you post, like what you like, engage with what you engage with, and hop out again. So from the outside looking in, find your niche, jump into your niche, jump back out of your niche, and stay away from everything else. And that's a way more positive way of doing it, I feel like.
I like you said, I think you'll just get lost otherwise.
Yeah.
Down rabbit holes and doom scrolling.
100%. All right, so excuse me. Okay, so next segment we've got hot takes and solid debates. If you've got something you want to throw at me, throw it into the ether, into the world that you think is hot and debatable, lay it on me.
I had a good think, and the only thing I can sort of think of off the top of my head was, I think Witcher 3 would actually be a good game if they sorted the combat out. Because I don't like the combat system, but I love the storytelling. I love the world and all the creatures that come with it. I just can't. I've tried twice now. I've got like 2 10-hour saves, and I just can't beat that combat system.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our first clips part of the segment. So the combat, I agree. Actually, the combat is tiresome. How far did you get into the game before you said, "Now, sod this, I'm out"?
I'm trying to think. I remember. See, I don't remember the story much. So I remember more the story by reading it. I don't remember it by playing much because, like I said, I sort of stopped. But I remember fighting. Who's the ice guy that like the main villain in it? That the Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
I sort of fought him in a. I don't know if it's church or a castle, and I beat him and then just sort of left it there. But yeah, like I said, it was about 10 hours in. I just fell off twice.
So interesting you say that, because the first time I played The Witcher 3 was in pre-lockdown, I think, maybe the year before that. And the 10 hours, literally the 10-hour mark, I was like, I can't get this. There's so much to do. It's not giving me what the box told me with all the signs and everything.
Yeah.
And I just completely fell off. And then I went back to it in lockdown. And I think I've mentioned this before on one of my videos, but I played about 10, 12 hours. And at one point it went bam. And I was like, I get it. It is perfect. It's open. It's giving me everything. The combat makes sense. Because did you play it before? Because they changed the combat, right? So they added a bit more of a dodge into it, and the combat system slightly changed. Did you play it before that or after that?
I'm not sure. So I played the second one. And again, the storytelling was fantastic, but the gameplay was even worse than the combat was even worse than Witcher 3 because it was just an older title. And then the third one sort of improved on it, but I couldn't tell you whether it was. I'm sure the DLC had come out for it, so the DLC had already been released for it. So I'd like to say it was probably the updated battle system. But I mean, by all means, I could go and play it again now, and I might fall in love with it. But at the minute, I just really struggle with that. It just seems to be the same sort of few moves, and then you throw a sign into it. maybe drink a few potions depending on what you're fighting. I don't know. Maybe
That's
one day it will
fascinating
change,
to me
but
because I'm playing. I say I'm playing. I've literally just said sobbers. I'm playing Sleeping Dogs right now.
yeah,
That is the most repetitive garbage ever. Like I just can't. It's like pressing square 15,000 times. I hate it. Whereas I thought with The Witcher 3, it was perfect because it gave you like the bestiary was awesome because you could just sort of spec to each different thing. And when you learned the pacing of it, I thought this is my speed now. But I do get where you're coming from, and I think that's going to be one I've got to sit with because I do
I think
understand that.
the other thing is I have a really weird turn off about massive games, like really big open world games. And a lot of the time I'd rather play like a 10-hour story, like a really solid story driven game. And I am very, very hit and miss with open world games. And I think although I'm complaining about the combat, I think the game just being too big also just pushes me away from it. But saying that, at the minute I'm playing Final Fantasy 13 again. Um, and I've started that game twice, hated it both times, and now I'm on a 50-hour save. So it could be my frame of mind. It might change, but
I hope it does because with The Witcher 3, I've always thought it's the most balanced open world probably ever. Because like you've got obviously Ciri to try and find and whatever.
yeah.
But it's almost like Ciri is like she's capable, she's able to fend for herself and stuff. So there's no like rush to go and find her. You can live as a Witcher and actually you've still got to make coin, you've still got to make bank, survive and get better. So I thought there's never any like in some games when you've got an end objective already in front of you, you kind of have to rush towards that, it feels like, and negate
Yeah,
everything else.
yeah.
Whereas with Witcher 3, you could sort of just go at your own speed because she's kind of okay. It's just how
Yeah,
quickly you want to find her.
I get that. And the thing with The Witcher 3 is that the side quest is so compelling, which
Yeah.
again really annoys me because there's one like where there's a guy living under a hole, like under the ground, and he's talking for a horn and pretending to be I can't he's trying to pretend to be an ogre or a demon, and like that's really clever, and I really love the way it's
Yeah.
told. But like I said, it's just the combat just sort of takes me out of it.
That's fair play. There's a lot of games I've
I'm
been on
hope
for
I'm
less.
hoping
So
I'm hoping one day it'll click with me because everyone loves it, and in theory, I should love it. But the combat system, it just holds me back a bit.
that's completely fair enough. And like I say, it's one thing I'll have to sit with and perhaps come back at you for.
Yeah,
Moving so moving on, we've got coaches' questions. Now, as people know, the listeners and hopefully viewers of this podcast, I post question videos and really quickly, so do you, Atomic.
yep.
Perfect. So questions we post, whether it's gaming related or whatever, questions we post that people can interact with online and give us their opinion on. So I've picked out 4 random ones, and I'm going to
Okay.
throw them at you, and I'll
Oh
see what
god.
your comeback is. So,
Yeah.
question 1 is: what is your favorite piece of dialogue or favorite quote from a video game?
Oh, I think it's a nice simple one. It's a Metal Gear Solid where Snake turns around and just goes, "Kept you waiting, huh?" And I tend to use that all the time. It's just a quote that I will repeat. Even to my wife, I'll go up and she's waiting for me. That quote just comes out, and it's just such a simple one. And if I could do a David Hayter voice, I would do a David Hayter voice because it's fantastic. But yeah, I think nice simple answer. That is definitely the one for me.
Oh, if I could do a David Hayter voice, or if I could do a Dennis Haysbert voice, I'd never talk any differently.
No,
Oh, man, amazing. Your wife's a gamer, right?
she's not. No, no.
So do you bug her like I bug my wife with quotes and anecdotes, and
Yeah, like so we'll watch a lot
she
of
hates
anime
it?
together, and she's quite nerdy, but she just doesn't have any interest in video games. But so I'm quite glad that she allows me to do my own thing with it because otherwise, relationships could be complicated.
Oh, 100%. I'm fighting tooth and nail with the space I've got back here because
Yeah,
this room is a spare room, so it's like for those that can see this, this is all I'm going to get, and I'm thankful for it. All right, next question. So I've gone through these sort of random. I've just sort of thrown a dart at the board and see what comes out.
yeah.
So we've got games or game series that deserve prequels.
Oh, prequels. There's so many. Um,
We got some wonderful answers in the comment section. I might throw a few at you.
Oh, let me just think. I mean, even stuff like I would love to go back and see more Dead Space, like a prequel to Dead Space, where the creatures start spawning out the from the curse marker and stuff. God, I don't know. That's really difficult because there's so many games. Um, I don't know.
I'll give you some so you can
Yeah,
get an idea where we're coming from, right? So we had one which said, I can't remember what it was, I'm have to try and find it. Said Bioshock. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I've always said if you can play as a child, not a child, but a teenage, probably Andrew Ryan, to
what
see his
in the
descent into madness, see how he sees the world differently. And I've actually thought if you could throw a sort of Alice Madness Returns aesthetic on that, or like a Walking Dead aesthetic,
which
like a story type book type feel, I would love that.
that could be good. That because like Rapture is such a weird place, and it would be interesting to see the uprising of sort of Andrew Ryan taking over and like losing the plot. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. But what actually Final Fantasy X? I feel like you could play. Have you played Final Fantasy X?
I have, yeah. It's a very long time ago, but I have, yeah.
So obviously, just cut the story real short. Yuna's on a pilgrimage to save Zarnakand. Um, but before she went on a pilgrimage, her dad went on a pilgrimage with Auron and Jecht. And I would like to see that game as a prequel done as like instead of it being an RPG turn-based thing, you could turn it into like a hack and slash, Devil May Cry.
Ooh, nice.
Because obviously like you could play as Jecht, he was a sword user. Um, Braska was like a magic user, so it could be. I think it could be fun. You could even have it as a freeway co-op.
That's a great shout, by the way. Love it. Okay. So, real quick, we'll go really quick one.
Yeah.
Again, dartball throw. Best wrestling game.
Oh, SmackDown versus Raw 2006.
Yes. That is mine.
I do like that one.
Yeah.
I think I brought that one recently actually. So I could replay it with my kid, but he wasn't interested. But
is that for the GM mode? Because I love the GM mode.
That's no, it was just I wanted to play for the story mode, unlock all the characters, and then just smash them about in the multiplayer. But he got bored of it very quickly, unfortunately. But I still go back and play it, and I don't know what it is about that one. I think it's just was that the second SmackDown versus Raw?
It was, yeah. It was the first one to have. So you had SmackDown versus Raw. Then you had SVR 2006, which is the first one to have GM mode.
Yeah, I think that's the one where they introduced you could steal each other's finishes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I have a lot of fond memories with that one.
Nice. Okay, and one more, slightly more deep dive, but series with 0 bad entries. And I know you commented on this. This was for, like, full disclosure, this needed a series with 3 or more games in it. Series with 0 bad entries.
Oh. See, now I'm stuck because I don't remember what I said originally.
What comes to mind? What is in the grey matter up there?
Oh.
There's not a lot in mind for context, but
no. See, it's hard. I'd say Devil May Cry, but the second one was terrible. But everything else apart from that has been awesome. Damn, what did I say?
What's bad about DMC 2?
It's I don't know. It was boring. They sort of weakened the combat, and then they made the two playable characters and the female. I don't really remember much about her, but I just remember it being less of a hack and slash and just more of like you could just shoot everything to death. And I don't really remember. I've played the first one recently and the third one, but every time I just can't put the second one on anymore. I remember hating it when it came out, but it could be one of those games where if I actually put it on and stop slating it, I might actually enjoy it. But I don't remember a positive thing about the second one. Man, I'm so bad at on the spot questions. I should have thought about this.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because my thing with this question was, and I don't know if you know Goshen's games.
Yes.
Yeah, so he I'd actually forgotten about this, but he posted a similar question like a year ago, as obviously he would do. He's a great content creator. And he was saying that, or my thing with him was that the longer a series goes, the harder it is naturally. But not because you've got like a main title entry series. You end up with like GBA games and mobile games and DLC games and games that are added to other games. It becomes so much more diluted. And I think it's tricky once you get past, say, 5 entries to really say that a series is.
You're going to slip up occasionally, aren't you? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts, I think, is always like, I don't think they've put out a bad game. I think they've all been good. I think the third one could have been better, but I don't think it was bad. I think it was a little bit disappointing. But I still play it, and I've played through them all again recently in Critical. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kingdom Hearts. I think the third one could have been better, but I think like 3 games that aren't bad, like a series of good games. Yeah, if I think about it, there's probably loads out there. What did I say originally? Just out of interest.
Well, that's a really good question. Let me come back to you on that. I might have a look in a minute. But yeah, just to reiterate the same point, once you get past a certain level, I think, or a certain amount of games, it's so tricky. There was a lot of answers, and I only saw one person say GTA, which surprised me. Is there a bad GTA game?
I don't like 4, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Ooh. Has GTA 4 not aged the best though?
I haven't played it since it's come out, but I remember not getting on very well with the driving, and I thought Nico was boring.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
But yeah, I think GTA is pretty overrated anyway, personally.
5 is.
5, yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I have a lot of time for Vice City. I think Vice City is probably the best one, personally, and I'm quite interested to see what the new one's going to be like. If it's going to be based in Vice City, hopefully we get some.
Well, it's meant to have all the big 3, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I've tried not to look too much into it because I know it's probably going to be another 4 years before it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be around for about 20 years after that, so I shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, re-release it on every console and keep it updated.
Be the new Skyrim, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to create a spotlight. This is a segment that I would love to see people like yourself highlight people that either you follow or the type of person you follow and engage with, just to get an idea of what the favorite creator's favorite creator is, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Throw some names out there if you want to, or just the type of person you watch or listen to.
Okay, I could do it. So I've got like 6 people I could probably just shout out real quick. So obviously we've already spoken about It's Frampton, but I have like 102-day streak with that chap. We talk every day, and like I said, his content's so just to the point. He says what he thinks. He's funny, and he's got like an awesome PS1 collection. It's Holly Retro. It's another person that I speak to regularly. Funny as hell. She has terrible dad humor, and again, just the overall gaming collection is awesome.
Can you have terrible dad humor?
Oh, I don't know. I think all dad humor is pretty bad, isn't it? I think it's relative.
So bad, it's good though.
It still makes me laugh.
There we go. See, that's what it's about, isn't it?
Who else we got? So, Video Game Viking. There's another one that I follow and talk to regularly. He's just such a chill guy. All his videos are like just really varied. He's got like a few that he does regularly. Really funny guy again. We've got Levi Dark Eco Gaming as well. It's just awesome PS2 collection. Funny guy, straight to the point, and just consistent videos. Blend97 again. That guy, if you ever have time to speak to him, he just pulls out all the big hitters all the time. So he has like an awesome game collection, which he does share on his channel quite a lot. But yeah, he just every time I talk to him is something that I've never heard of that's worth loads of money. It's just this super sleeper collection that he's got. And Aztec Gaming as well. You know Aztec anyway.
Oh mate, I've said it so many times, right? I hope I'm stepping on your toes in the best way possible. Aztec does not get anywhere near enough love.
No,
the fact that guy's not on 4,000 followers, 5,000 followers with like his own podcast and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's another one who's great to talk to. He's funny, and he has such a good like knowledge of like, if you have anything sort of, if you're looking for stock of a game, or you're not sure what to sell something for, how much you should be paying for it, he's definitely the guy to talk to. He's just so switched on, and he's so and as well, he'd do anything for anyone. He's so helpful and friendly. But yeah, they're like my six content creators that I talk to regularly and sort of follow quite closely.
Amazing, because going back to Aztec, like he was probably, I reckon, the third or fourth page I found when I first
Yeah,
joined TikTok, and he's been there a massive constant the whole way through. And like I say, he helps out everybody. He is actually he's got a shop, hasn't he? He sells stuff out
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah,
Like the fact he's not more well known baffles me. He's like a staple of the community. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely,
it
I
is.
agree.
Really, really is. Some great names there. And for those listening and watching, I will put those down on my list. I've got a list of people I'm going to interview at some point, and we'll see if we can get them on there. Now, Creator Spotlight also counts for you, Atomic. Can you give everyone a plug for what you do, what makes you unique, and also plug your actual handle for us?
Okay, yeah. So if you look for Atomic Retro, you'll find me pretty easily among all the other retro title users on TikTok. But yeah, so most of my stuff is me asking questions. Recently, I've been doing like a mystery bag. So my wife will go buy something for me for the collection. I have no idea what it is. I'll open the bag and just like blind react to it. So that's quite a nice way because a lot of times she'll go pick up stuff that maybe I wasn't looking at, which then inspires me to play something new. So you know, like I said, I'm quite lucky in the respect that she supports me in this. Um, yeah, I don't know. I quite like to think I'm a chill guy, so I just put questions out there. I like responses from everybody, and I just like to have a good time. You know, no, no toxicity, no arguments. Just ask me a question and I'll answer it. You know.
That's partly why I want to do the podcast, because there's so many people that I've come across that all you hear about is the internet's a bad place and whatever. But when you find the right people, it is class. There's no
Oh yeah,
toxicity, there's no negativity, everyone supports each other. And one of my main things is that I don't like, how do I phrase this? I don't like support for the sake of support.
yeah,
Like, you know, like you see the old Twitch streams and everything where like you got like people mass raiding to then go and support them. Like on TikTok, it's more difficult to do that. And I love when people put posts of like, "Oh, please support these people." When I'm doing it because I'm giving people I earnestly follow,
yeah.
and I encourage you to go look at. Now, it doesn't mean you have to follow them. It means if you like them, follow them. Like,
Of course, yeah,
you know, and I think that is an understood kind of unwritten rule, and I love it because there's no pressure ever on anybody. And like you say, the amount of people that are so chill and relaxed and earnestly want to have a chat with you is fantastic.
yeah.
So we'll wrap this up here. We've been online for the amount of time I'm hoping for, which is fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed it. You are the first person, the first guinea pig that I've actually had on.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope it goes well because I would like to see other people in my shoes and just learn more about them as well. So
Under the microscope. Absolutely
yeah,
love it. I say, for those listening, this has been the first episode of Champion the Gamer. Please follow me. I'm Coach Marv Gaming on TikTok and Instagram, actually, which I don't ever use, but hopefully I will. And we hope to see a lot more like Atomic come on podcast soon. So thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one.
yeah, no, lovely. Cheers for having me.